Hello again, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a chat video today. It's something that I've never spoken about before, but if you are new here, my name is Ajay and I am an arthritis sufferer. So that's what my video is going to be about, just talking about my story. So yeah, I am an arthritis sufferer, and it started for me in 2010. Yeah, I was 24. Yeah, 24. And I started getting a lot of pain in my right hand around the thumb. And I ignored it, you know. And like literally within like a couple of weeks, it was, basically like it deformed. It had gone like a golf ball. And I was living in Worcester at the time. And I went to the doctors there, and the doctor went, "Oh no, it's nothing to worry about. Too much texting." That's what they told me. I was like, okay. I didn't believe it, but I went with it. Then I started getting loads of pain in my right shoulder here, and I couldn't hardly move my arm. So like I could move it, but I could get it up to about there. Then it was like, you know what I mean, like agony. So yeah, I I had to have like they put me on physiotherapy and it done nothing, and then they just sort of like dismissed me. Like, off you go back into the world. Then between 2011 and 2016, I had many trips to the doctors, all that could. No, none of them had any clue. They couldn't work anything out. I couldn't even tell you how many times I went a good few times, and I was just feeling more and more ill all the time. I started that new job, the one I was on about, the toxic workplace, 2014. And the first job they gave me was pulling, the very first job that they gave me was pulling 85 kgs of pop and Coca-Cola from one side of the building to the other. Well, you think of that, about that on the pain on my arm. So yeah, that was the first, yeah, that was a big thing. Not the first thing, obviously, but yeah, I had many trips to the doctors, and within that time, I was just getting worse and worse and worse, and I can't tell you like how ill I was feeling, and it was difficult as well because I had around that time I had a newborn baby. That was my firstborn, and it was obviously I was involved as much as I could be. Like as she was getting a bit older and that, like getting down on the floor and that, it was like agony on my legs and my arms, shoulder, everything. Like lifting my daughter up and holding her, like and it was so painful. Anyway, I ended up with loads of pain in the bottom of my feet. It was like plantar fasciitis. I was like literally like both my feet, agony to put my feet down on the floor. I was having to take the strongest ibuprofen I could just to touch the pain. I went back to the doctors, and I always remember what he said to me. He goes, it will take a better doctor than me to work this one out. So he said to me, and finally, after all that time, so from 2010 to 2016, it took them that long to give me a hospital appointment. Oh, sorry, I forgot one thing as well. In that time as well, this finger here went like a pork sausage. It was really painful, went like a pork sausage, and to this day it's still bent. But I had to have a needle inside there. I nearly passed out. It was that painful. Yeah, and I mean, touch wood, since I've had that steroid in there, my finger went back to pretty much normal. But, oh, it's so painful. Anyway, 2016, I ended up getting to the hospital. And that was Good Hope Hospital, Sutton Coldfield. And literally, I walked in there, and within 30 seconds I was diagnosed. And yeah, it was like, to be honest, it's quite difficult to talk about sometimes, but it was like, you know, my world fell out sort of thing. Because I knew like something was wrong, but I didn't think it was like a serious thing, like, you know, although I'd suffered for that long. And he goes to me, yeah, he goes, I can tell you what it is straight away. He goes, you have psoriatic arthritis. And I was like, what the hell is that? I'd heard of like psoriasis. And if you don't know, psoriasis is a skin condition, but it's also a autoimmune condition. So although I don't have any psoriasis, the byproduct of that is psoriatic arthritis, and that although you don't have the actual stuff, it tricks your body into thinking that the parts are bad, so they attack it. So that's what was happening with me. Literally, my own body was attacking everywhere. It was attacking my own shoulder, attacking my fingers, my thumb, my face, everywhere, my hips, my legs, everything. My left knee, that was going as well. I mean, I was lucky that I was able to keep playing football. I mean, I was in a lot of pain still playing, but I literally forced myself to keep playing to the standard I was. And yeah, I played up until I was 35. I'm 39 now, so yeah, so I've been giving up 4 years now. And yeah, anyway, like, I was in the hospital, they diagnosed me, and like I said, I'd never heard of it before. So they automatically put me on some tablets called methotrexate, which I'm on to this day. And apparently they are designed to kill off cells in the body, so they don't produce as much to attack the parts. Yeah, so I mean, it's not good medication to be on. So it's like what they give to like cancer patients and stuff like that. But I have no choice. Yeah, I've tried to do some research on it when I first got diagnosed, and it's scary. Like, you know, I saw the one guy who was like, yeah, by the time you're in your 50s, your hands are going to be like this. Yeah, he said all that to me. What did the other one? I went to see another one. He said that I'd probably be dead in my early 60s. Along those lines, he was like, yeah, arthritis causes hardening of the arteries, the heart. So yeah, you tell me, like, how are you supposed to process all this information coming at you. And then obviously there's the, you know, I don't want to say like mental health, Lord, but yeah, the mental health side of it. Because, yeah, obviously, before I got diagnosed, and I admit it myself, I was a bit of a, you know, I was a cantankerous bastard. I was at times. I could, not all the time, but it wasn't really me. It's because I was in constant bloody pain. And, I mean, I still am, even now. I'm still in a lot of pain a lot of the time. Just getting out of bed sometimes is a massive effort, you know, for me. I don't often talk about it, you know what I mean? I don't, you know, it's like with men, they don't like to talk about things sometimes, and even to my own missus, I don't let her know half the pain that I'm in a lot of the time. But yeah, I mean, when I before I was quite down, should I say, and then after I got diagnosed, I didn't really know how to react to it. You know, I did go quite depressive a lot of the time, and you know, I'd go to work because I've never done a job where I just sit on my backside. I've always done jobs where I've been on my feet, working, you know, lifting. So yeah, and then obviously there's been other knock-on effects of that. You know, I've had to struggle on working in jobs because, you know, who's going to hire you if they know that you're crocked? You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I got diagnosed 2016, 2017. I ended up in hospital because I had to have an operation on the shoulder, and something, I think, I'm pretty sure they said, like, because of the arthritis, the tendons had fused in the shoulder. So I basically had to have the surgery to, like, chop them and unfuse them. And I felt a lot better afterwards. But like, I'm finding, like, over time now, it's starting to hurt again. And this one is a little bit, you know, so I'm keeping an eye on that. 2019, I nearly died because I got this stake stuck in here, and I was like, you know, what happened? And basically they told me that, again, because of the arthritis, inflammation, that is the key word here, inflammation, that is what is hurting the body. The inflammation caused the pipe, the esophagus, basically narrowed it to nothing. And I didn't know for all that time, you know, it's still going on. I just used to find when I was eating, like, bread, if I had any bread, you'll get stuck. But, like, I always dismissed it. And then it comes to the time when I was in Portishead, Bristol way, Portishead, and I had a steak. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, it stuck in me. I ended up having to go to Bristol Infirmary, I think it was, and having that done. And then 2 weeks later, or 3 weeks later, one or two anyway, they called me to Good Hope Hospital up here, and they said, yeah, we need to check. They went down there, and the first one they knocked me out on. This one, I had to stay awake the whole time, and they put like a fishing rod with a camera down there. I was awake, and they forced it down my throat, which was horrible. And they go, well, you know, the 3 women, and they said, Lord, we've never seen anything like this before. And I said, what's that? And they said, look, my entire, like, esophagus here, they said was white. I said, white? And they go, yeah. They go, basically, what it is all your white blood cells that fight infection and so on. They've all stuck there, stuck onto the surface. I was like, how's that happen? And they said, the white blood cells are what fight the infection, and they've been going to fight your own body, sort of thing. So you know what I mean? You can't win. But since then, sorry, I've been alright. Touch wood. I still take my medication, and yeah, every Thursday. But yeah, this is just generally like my story and about it, and kind of in a way as well to like raise awareness, because a lot of people out there probably just suffering and they don't know that they've got this. And I only found out afterwards, after I got diagnosed, how many people have got this. There's a lot of people. I always thought like arthritis was like an old age disease, you know what I mean? What you get when you're at like 75, 80. I didn't realise I could get it when I was like 25, 24. And then you've got juvenile arthritis, children suffering with this. There's a few different types of arthritis and that, but you know, I never realised this. And you know what I would say is, if you are suffering like pains everywhere, your fingers going deformed, and your toes, or you know whatever, I would just advise, just don't get yourself checked out, but don't let them fob you off, because I did for 5 years, and it done untold damage to me. I probably wouldn't be half as bad as I am now. You know what I mean? If I had pushed on and got the help that I needed. Because like I said, a bloke who knew what he was on about diagnosed me within 30 seconds. These bunch of jokers that I saw beforehand, too much texting. It would take a better doctor than me to work out. You work out the standard of the doctors I had to see before I could actually get myself in the hospital. So, you know, if it helps you, it helps you, doesn't it? And that's all that's all I thought I'd do. I mean, like I say, it wasn't easy because I didn't really want to be personal, you know what I mean? You're used to seeing me smiling with my hat on, or drinking a beer, or, you know, walking about, and, you know, but if I can help somebody along the way, raise a bit of awareness, then I'm happy with that, you know. So I'm just going to leave it there. And my health generally is all right. You know, obviously I do hurt every day, you know, pains, and my back hurts a lot, but a lot of that is down to, I don't know if it's connected, but obviously years ago I slipped a disc, and it did tell me like your back will never be the same again. But a lot of the pain that I get, especially there and down the back of my leg and all that, is from that. But yeah, I'm falling apart. But if you did enjoy the video today, please do give me a like and subscribe. Hit the notifications bell, and be alerted to all my upcoming videos. And of course, I will see you on the next one. So thanks very much, and see you later.